The laptop screen is the only light in the room. Everything else is dark. The hallway outside my bedroom is quiet. The house feels hollow in that late-night way where even the refrigerator seems to stop humming. The only sound is the soft, steady whir of the laptop fan warming against my knees. On the screen, there's a folder I don't remember opening. It's called Archive_3. Simple, neutral, almost boring. But I know I didn't create it. I'm deep inside the system files. Places normal people don't go unless they're looking for something they aren't sure they want to find. I'd been digging for old photos of my grandfather, maybe old documents, anything worth saving before I wiped the machine. Instead, I found this. Inside the folder, there's a single video file paused on a frame. It takes me a few seconds to understand what I'm looking at. The image is grainy, dimension, lit by a faint blue glow. It's my bedroom. Not the one from childhood. This one. The one I'm sitting in now. The bed is unmade in the background. The closet door is half open. My desk lamp is off. And I'm there, in the frame, sitting at this same desk, facing the laptop. The timestamp in the corner reads 3:12 a.m. My throat tightens. It's 3:12 a.m. right now. I lean closer to the screen. The me in the paused video is angled slightly to the left, shoulders hunched the way they get when I'm tired. There's a coffee mug by my hand, the same mug that's beside me right now. I was alone that night, I whisper before I realize I've spoken out loud, because I remember 3:12 a.m. last week. I couldn't sleep. I came in here, opened the laptop, and scrolled mindlessly for an hour. No one else was home. No one could have been in this room. The longer I stare at the image, the worse something feels. The angle. It's wrong. The camera isn't the laptop webcam. It's higher, tilted slightly downward, as if it's mounted somewhere inside the room. My grandfather passed away 3 weeks ago. It was quiet. Sudden, but not violent. A heart attack in his sleep. That's what my mother told me over the phone. Her voice thin and careful, like she was trying not to disturb something fragile. He lived alone for years after my grandmother died. Same small house at the end of a cul-de-sac. Same overgrown hedges. Same curtains that were always drawn halfway, never fully open. I was the one asked to sort through his belongings. I don't know why. Maybe because I was the only one who visited him regularly. Maybe because I was the only one who understood his habits. The laptop was on his desk in the spare bedroom, the one he never let anyone sleep in. It was old, but well-maintained. Clean keyboard, no dust inside the ports, a small square of black tape carefully placed over the webcam. He hated cameras. When I was younger, he'd put tape over the webcam on our family computer whenever he visited. He'd cover the bathroom mirror at night with a towel, just in case. He once unplugged our baby monitor while babysitting my cousin because he said devices shouldn't watch while we sleep. At the time, we thought it was harmless paranoia, an old man who didn't trust technology. He used to say something to me whenever I asked why. Don't let it see you twice. He never clarified what it was. I'd laugh, and he'd smile back. But the smile always stopped just short of his eyes. When I was a kid, there was one room in his house that stayed locked. The spare bedroom, the same one that held the laptop. He told me it was storage I never pushed. But sometimes I'd catch him standing in the hallway at night, staring at the dark screen of his powered-off television. Just standing there, waiting. He wasn't cruel. He wasn't unstable. He was gentle with me, patient. He taught me how to fix a loose hinge, how to change a tire, how to sit quietly without needing noise to fill the space. But there was always something behind his quietness, like he was listening for something I couldn't hear. When I powered on his laptop for the first time after he died, I expected it to be empty. Emails, maybe old documents, nothing dramatic. It was password protected. 3 attempts failed before I tried my birthday. It unlocked instantly. I wasn't looking for anything strange when I found the hidden directory. I had already transferred his photos to an external drive, scanned a few documents. I was about to shut it down when I noticed the storage space didn't add up. Too much was being used. So I dug deeper. System files, hidden folders, Directories buried 3 layers down. That's where I found it, archive_3. There were dozens of video files inside, each labelled only with dates and times. Every single one. 3:12 a.m. There were audio recordings too. WAV files, neatly named. A subfolder caught my eye. It was my name. I don't remember clicking it. I just remember the way my hands felt colder afterward. The first video I opened showed a hallway, my childhood hallway. The wallpaper with faded blue stripes. The scuffed baseboards I used to run toy cars along. The door to my old bedroom closed. Timestamp 3:12 a.m. The camera was positioned at the end of the hall, watching. After about 20 seconds, my bedroom door opened slightly, just an inch. No one stepped out. It stayed that way for the rest of the recording. The second video was harder to watch. It was my childhood bedroom. I was asleep in the bed. The angle wasn't from the doorway. It was from the upper corner of the room, near the ceiling. I never had a camera in that room. Halfway through the clip, something shifts in the corner of the frame. Not dramatically, just enough to register. The shadows don't move with the rest of the room. I leaned closer, squinting. The file properties showed it was created 8 years ago. 8 years after I moved out. That's when I understood something that made my stomach drop. These weren't old recordings. They continued long after I left. The escalation happened in layers. The first thing that truly unsettled me was an audio file. No video, just sound. I put in headphones because I didn't want the house to hear what I was about to. There was silence at first, a faint hum, like an old refrigerator. Then my grandfather's voice, low, close to the microphone. It learns by watching. There was a long pause. I could hear his breathing. I tried covering the cameras. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need the lens. It just needs the moment. The recording ended abruptly. The second discovery was a video from 4 years ago. I'm sitting in my old apartment talking on the phone. I remember that apartment. I remember the couch, the chipped coffee table, but I don't remember being recorded. The camera angle was from the television, like it was looking out at me. I'm laughing in the video, relaxed, unaware. At exactly 3:12 a.m., I stopped mid-sentence and glanced toward the screen. Not at the TV, at the camera, like I know something is there. In real life, I have no memory of that. The third file is the one I shouldn't have opened. It's dated tomorrow. Tomorrow at 3:12 a.m. I sat there for a long time, cursor hovering. My chest felt tight. My fingers hovered over the trackpad. I don't know what you would have done in my place, but I have to ask, would you have opened that file dated tomorrow? I told myself it was impossible. A glitch. Corrupted metadata. I clicked it. The video loads instantly. It's this room, this desk, this exact angle. I'm sitting here, watching the same footage. The timestamp reads 3:12 a.m. In the video, I lean closer to the screen. Right now, I'm perfectly still. In the video, my shoulders shift. In real life, I haven't moved. Then, the version of me in the video turns its head toward the camera, toward something above the desk, and smiles, my own face, but softer, knowing. In my room, I'm frozen. The smile on the screen widens slightly before I feel my own lips twitch. After that, nothing felt stable. The laptop fan grew louder, though I hadn't opened anything new. The file list began to rearrange itself, subtly at first. Archive_3 shifted position. The folder with my name moved higher in the list. The timestamp in the corner of the desktop flickered. 3:12, 3:13, 3:12, 3:13. I closed the video window and stared at the dark reflection on the screen. My face stared back, but it lagged. Not much. Just half a second. I raised my hand. The reflection followed a beat too late. The laptop camera light flickered on. I hadn't opened any camera app. A new video began playing automatically. My grandfather sat in his spare bedroom, the locked one. He looked older than I remembered, thinner. If you're seeing this, he said quietly, it's aware of you now. He swallowed. I tried to document it, to track it. I thought if I understood it, I could contain it. His eyes flicked off screen, as if checking something. It only needs to be seen once to recognize you. The video glitched briefly. I don't know if I was studying it, he whispered, or feeding it. The screen went black. I tried to close the laptop. It wouldn't shut. The hinge resisted like something was holding it open from inside. The screen flickered violently. A new folder appeared. Transfer_complete. My pulse was loud in my ears. Inside was one file. No name. I clicked it. It wasn't pre-recorded. It was live. The laptop camera showed my face, but slightly delayed. In the live feed, I leaned forward. In reality, I was still sitting back. In the feed, I moved closer to the screen. My delayed self lifted a hand and pressed it flat against the inside of the screen. I felt nothing. The image leaned closer and whispered something. There was no audio, but I could read my own lips. Thank you. My phone vibrated beside me. The screen lit up with a notification. Face recognized. It's morning now. The laptop is closed, unplugged. I haven't opened it again. I tell myself it was exhaustion, stress, grief doing strange things to my perception. But today, while making coffee, the smart TV in the living room flickered on for a second. No sound, just a flash of static. My phone's front camera activated while it was face down on the table. The green indicator light glowing faintly before disappearing. Tonight, I checked my cloud storage. There are security camera thumbnails there now. Angles of my apartment, the hallway, the bedroom, files labeled 3:12 a.m. I never installed cameras. A few minutes ago, while I was lying in bed trying not to think about any of this, a new folder appeared on my phone. Archive_4. I haven't opened it. Not yet. And maybe I won't. But I understand something now that my grandfather did. It was never about the devices. Not really. If stories like this stay with you, if you're drawn to the quiet kind of horror that feels just real enough to follow you into the dark, then this is where those stories live. I used to think the fear was in the machine, in the camera, in the screen. Now I think it's simpler than that. It doesn't live in devices, it lives in observation.